instantly nothing. He just grabbed my arm. And I thought for a second, oh great, I'm going to be back on Earth and I'm going to miss this great opportunity. So we get to the space station, and as we're depressurizing, I'm going, wow, this is great. This is great. And just at the corner of my eye, I see something. Looking at me, and for a second there, I was kind of really scared because I didn't know what was looking at me, and it was like a round, silvery globe. And this is inside the space station. Now, this round, silvery globe comes right up to me. I'm going, what the hell is that? And the American astronaut says, oh, that's your personal assistant. Is it an alien? He says, no, it's a kind of like a robot, and it's already synced with your phone, synced with your heated jacket, synced with your watch. And I said, how can it sync with your watch? It's just an LED one. And he says, trust me, it's synced with your watch. So I asked the globe, I said, so, what's your name? Google 1, it said. I said, why does everything have to be owned by Google? Anyways, so it says, well, everything has to be owned by Google because it answered back. It's because we buy everything. Anyways, Google 1, the content basically follows me, and it latches onto the carabiner, and then it made a couple squeaks and bloops or whatever, and then another one comes in, latches onto the carabiner, and then a couple more come in, latch onto the astronaut. And I said, why do we need this in this little space station? And they said, this ain't a little space station. From out there it looked small. And I said, well, I've seen many pictures of the space station. And he says, this is just the front entrance. So we went in, and then as I looked, I realized that the space station wasn't the space station I was looking on the pictures on Earth. The space station was huge. It was like a big cylinder all the way around, like a hula hoop. And it was, I'd say, about 100 miles. And as I'm walking, then I realized I'm walking. How's that possible? I thought you just float around. And he says, well, that's what the globes are. The globes have an anti-gravity function that latches onto you, transfers energy through your body, and makes an artificial kind of gravity. Don't even ask me how that works. It just works, okay? It just works. That's why these globes are with you. And so, anyways, so I'm in the space station, and I'm walking, and I noticed that these monitors everywhere, and it monitors everything on the outside, and each part of the space station has it's basically in parts. So when I saw a big asteroid coming in, and there was like a warning thing going, like, warning, 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 asteroid. So the section that the asteroid passed through, all those pieces just moved aside. And then the asteroid safely went through. So they said, you just have to worry. Well, you're going into this room for orientation. So I go into this room, and this room is like a big classroom, like a big university classroom. It's like huge. And there's probably 1,000 people there, and I'm going, okay. This is not what I've imagined. This is kind of definitely not what I imagined. So, president of not any country, president of the multinational space station, that they all have a governed body, I guess. I don't know. It was like, seriously. Anyways, so this guy pulls up. He says, welcome, Mr. Warpaint Gamer. And I said, you could just call me Chuck. He says, okay, Mr. Warpaint Gamer Chuck. And I said, no, you could just call me Chuck. Now, so I'm sitting there at this table looking. I said, okay, there's definitely something going on that the world doesn't know about. There's something definitely going on. And maybe I'm an exclusive on this because... Well, anyways, so he starts talking. He says, listen, there's different sections. There's a whole section. The whole left-hand section is on limits, and the whole right section is off limits. And then I asked him, I put my hand up, and they say, Mr. Warpaint Gamer Chuck. And I say, why can't I go in the right section? How come I can't go in there? And they said, don't ask questions. Just listen. And I said, well, I'm asking a question. And they said, listen, it's off limits. Do not go into that area. It's unsafe. You might get blown into space because it might be damaged. And I said, well, it's strange because I could see out these windows in the middle and I could see the other side of this big-ass hula hoop. And I'm telling you, it looks fine over there. I actually see people. They say, Chuck, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, okay, I understand. That's probably military and this is civilian over here. I understand. And as we're whizzing by the moon, I could see the moon. And then all of a sudden the moon stops. So everybody's looking out the window and we're looking at the moon stop. And then we're just kind of like, how's that possible? And they say, oh, because we stopped. Because we're going to go orbit the moon. Excuse me? Or I thought we just orbit Earth. And they says, no. You know those billions and billions and trillions of dollars that are deficits in every governments all over the world, and you know the taxes you paid, like billions of dollars, even though that you say to yourself, out of 12 months I paid $5,000 into a system, and all I got was some nice roads in front of my house to drive on. Now I realized, I had an eureka moment. I realized where all that money's going. It's going up here. And I said, you know what? I don't even want to go back there. I don't even want to pull this hair out. As I noticed my hair, like when I looked down on my arm. And then I looked at other people's arms closely, kind of thing. Just looking around, I noticed there's nothing. They don't have this special little hair. So anyways, I say to myself, well, you know what? I'm kind of liking this. And this is very, very interesting. So he says, well, here's the orientation. You stay on the left-hand side. You could do whatever the hell you want. You go to the main mess. And so just like Star Trek. And he says, well, it's based on the producers of Star Trek and all them, of all the sci-fi movies all got together, and they basically built this. And I said, shoot Click Picard up here. And they said, Chuck, shut up. No Star Trek jokes. I said, okay, I understand. But I realized this is cool. And I said, what happens if this globe on my arm, the Google Globe, and then the Google Globe answered saying, you just float. But it's illegal to float up here. And I said, this is why I came into space in the first place, to float. They said, don't worry about it. As I looked down at the hair in my arm, and it grew another millimeter. And then this little bot called the Google One shines a little light on the hair on my arm.